Now the government, they caught news about the Skull's nature in this war, the fact that he was active, he was dangerous, and that he had grave plans for the states. So then they decided to turn around and take their boy and bring him into the loop. So Rogers was then pulled off the inactive roster onto the overactive roster. And the new project that he would become a part of was codenamed Captain America. They wanted to make sure that when the Skull seen their weapon of defense, that he wouldn't be looking at a man, but that he would be facing America. So then Rogers would receive one of those super soldier suits that I mentioned earlier that was covered almost like the American flag. That was red, white, and blue. This suit would also come attached with a mask, christened with an A at the very center of the head, and have two white wings symbolizing the American eagle. Now, news about Captain America started flying through the U.S. government hierarchy, right? The president, he was even fascinated with this whole thing. He was all for it. Even the allies, right, they caught a hold of Captain America's, existence. And one individual by the name of T'Chaka, he's a king from Africa. T'Chaka is the father of T'Challa, who is the original Black Panther, from the Avengers. Now, this king had bestowed a triangular shield painted red, white, and blue to the United States for Captain America. Now, the shield, what made it so special, in addition to the fact that it was so big and it was kind of heavy, was the fact that it had an alloy native to the African land, which is called vibranium. Now, this vibranium pretty much would, help Cap in the field by deflecting bullets, helping him against shell shock, explosions, so on and such. So now, Cap took along, the shield, and he took it on training missions. But President Roosevelt, he's seen some of the films from those training missions, and something didn't sit right with him about that shield. It just seemed that it was too big and too heavy, and he did not want his boy and also his weapon, and also his secret weapon, to get caught in the field, no matter how much strength and power he had. So he would call upon the services of a metallurgist by the name of Dr. Myron McLean. And together, him and McLean would put their heads together on how to design a shield that would be light enough, but at the same time, still maintaining strength while their boy is in the field. So McLean quickly got to work on a brand new design for his shield. First off, he took the shape off. The triangular bit was not working. Not even if you made it smaller. He made it circular, like a frisbee or a discus. The shield would now be much lighter, but it will also have that vibranium alloy, which was on the original shield. But what made it so special is that this shield could also be used as a projectile. It could be tossed. So not only would it be able to do the things that I said it does earlier, like the bullets, the shell shock, and the explosions, but it can also, from a distance, render some of his enemies unconscious, 1, maybe 2, maybe 6 at a time. So now Captain America now had his brand new shield, and this shield would be christened in those concentric American colors with red and white around the border, right, with a blue eye in the center like a bullseye, christened with a white star. As for the triangular shield, it would be returned to King T'Chaka, and the king would then take that shield and hang it in his kingdom as a national monument. So now the stage was set, the grand stage was set. Captain America now had his brand new weapon, and he would be sent into Poland in 1941, just after the invasion by the Nazis. Now, while working abroad, Steve Rogers had decided pretty much that he would have to turn around and go pretty much low-key as far as him and being Captain America. Had to make it so for security reasons, to make sure that anybody who was going to become a traitor or a separatist wouldn't turn around and take that information back to the enemies, or to make sure that any spies or saboteurs wouldn't get no knowledge of this, which would pretty much blow everything out of the water. But to turn around and take it a step further, he would become not only so much of like a regular soldier, but that of like a bumbling buffoon of a soldier. And pretty much his antics, whether it be comical or just really, really stupid, would catch the attention of a sergeant, a higher-ranking sergeant by the name of Duffy. Now, Duffy pretty much had it up to here with Rogers, making like just stupid, clumsy mistakes, and pretty much he would always find himself putting Rogers in KP duty. It was a sham of it wasn't so much of a sham of a plan, but it worked. Now, Rogers would also become friend with the base's mascot, a young orphan by the name of Bernard Barnes. But everybody on the base called him Bucky. Pretty much Bucky and Rogers would, they would become the best of friends. Now at nighttime, Rogers would slip into that Captain America suit. He would then slip off the base out of the green sector, under enemy lines, and from there, the mayhem would start. We're talking about destroying munitions dumps, factories, a couple of super soldier facilities, supply lines, and also, and one of his greatest, he destroyed one of the railways leading to some of the death camps. He would do this on a regular. Then, by the time the sun came up, he would slip on the enemy lines, go back into the green sector, and be back in the barracks before anybody knew he was gone. Now, one incident, Rogers was about to go on another night mission, and reluctantly, Bucky had stumbled into the barracks, witnessing that Rogers was changing into that Captain America outfit. So now, one person knows his secret, but being the friend that he was, he promised Cap that he would keep his identity under wraps, but on one condition and one condition only. Cap would have to take him as a sidekick on these missions. So them being the best of friends, how could he resist? So then Bucky would get into what you would see, the famous red and blue outfit, and he would don the little black mask, right? And now Captain America and Bucky had became a team.